floor the entire time. Body weight core, we've got 7 moves, 45 seconds on with a 15-second breather. Now you can make that a breather or you can make that a pulse in that position that we were just in. Then we'll quickly transition to the next move. So let's start with 100s. So you can start with your knees bent, feet on the floor, or lifted arms by your side, reaching long, going in 3, 2, and 100. Gentle pulse of the arms, palms facing down. At any point in time, you can lower your feet to the floor. Deep inhale, deep exhale. Think about having your sit bones pressed into the floor. As we continue to breathe here, your back is flat. Navel pulled in towards your spine and up to the crown of your head. You got your first 15-second breather or holding in 7. That's 3, 2, last one. Catch your breath, holding or breathing. We're going to roll it on back. Next up, we're going to tuck the left knee as we keep the right leg long. Single leg stretch. We're going to pulse it for 2 breaths, and then we're going to switch sides. We're going in 2 and 1. Left knee in, pulse it, 2, and then switch. You want to tuck your chin in towards your chest. Shoulders are lifted. Point through your toes. Think knee in towards towards the same shoulder, avoiding your rib cage, as the opposite leg is extended long. You're reaching that leg long to a hover as you're drawing that knee closer in towards your chest. So double pulsing both legs, opposite directions, single leg stretch, double pulse. Breather in 5. That's 3, 2, last one. Hold it here or relax your head, neck, and shoulders. We're going to find a reverse tabletop as we draw our knees directly over our hips and bring our shins parallel to the floor, alternating outside ankle or hip reaches. Here we go, side to side. Now you can start with your knees over your hips, shins parallel to make it more challenging. At any point in time, you can rest your feet on the floor, still keeping your knees to the sky. Reaching for the outer ankles, your hips, pressing your lower back into the floor, firing up those obliques. 20 more seconds here, side to side. Chin is tucked, shoulders are hovering. 10 more seconds. Last 5. That's 3, 2. Come back to center. Hold it here or catch your breath. We're going to keep those legs zipped together. If they were previously on the floor, draw your knees over your hips, shins parallel, elbows are wide, chin hovering. We have a double leg extend and bend. Extend it for 2 and bend it for 2. Slow and steady. You can bring your legs up low towards the floor to make it more challenging. You can bring your legs up at any diagonal or up toward the sky to lessen that hip flexor. Pressing your lower back into the floor. Double leg extend and bend. Firing up those lower abs by keeping your chin tucked, elbows wide. Getting some upper ab work here. Last 5. Double leg extend and bend for 2. All right, reach your legs long. Hold it here for a breath. We're going to hover those legs again towards the floor, diagonally up towards the sky. And we have flutter kicks. Opt to place your hands under your hips for support. Here we go. Keep those legs straight, point through your toes. Navel pulled in toward your spine, up to the crown of your head. Gentle flutter kicks. Gazing down towards your navel. Hands can be under your glutes, palms facing down, thumbs in, pinkies out for support. If your lower back is not lifting off the floor and you have 0 discomfort, you can bring your hands behind your head. Head, neck, and shoulders lifted or grounded to the floor. Firing up those lower abs. 7 more seconds here. Little flutter kicks for 3, 2, last one. All right, catch your breath. We're gonna keep those legs zipped. We're gonna lift the legs to the sky, and then we're gonna lower them back down to the floor. Keeping them grounded the entire time. Try not to touch your feet to the floor. Here we go, lift it up. Legs stay zipped, lower down. Imagine that floor is lava. You can get super duper low to get a little additional heat into that core, or you can bring it to any degree. The lower you bring those feet, the more challenging it is. If you have any discomfort in your hip flexors, add a slight bend into your knees. Lift and lower. Fire up those lower abs a little bit more. Slow and steady. Last 3. All right, we're gonna hold our legs up to the sky. Release your hands from under your hips if they were there. Catch your breath. And this time we have toe reach pulses. So we're holding our hands towards our toes the entire time. Keeping our shoulders lifted. Here we go. Little pulse and reach. Feet to the sky. Knees towards the ceiling. You can also bend your knees at 90. Shins parallel, still reaching for the sky. Imagine those toes are straight. You can also plant your feet on the floor, bringing your knees to the sky. You're still pretending those toes are lifted up. Reaching and breathing, little toe pulses. Reach and reach. This is the end of round 1. You've got 7 more seconds. That's 5, 3, 2, last one. All right, catch your breath. We're gonna do the exact same thing, starting back with those 100s. Back at the top in 7. That's 3. Arms by your side, palms facing down. Here we go. That timer has begun. Keep your shoulders relaxed away from your ears. Still going. Still breathing. Almost there. Seven more seconds. All right, we're taking to single leg stretches after our breather. All right, lower on down. Catch your breath. Single leg stretches. Pull one knee in as the opposite leg extends. Little pulses, here we go. This time right knee in, left leg extends, pulse it for 2 and switch. Left knee in, right leg long. Double pulse and extend, switching sides. Pull it in toward your spine. Inhale and exhale. 20 more seconds to go. You've been here before. Keeping your chin tucked, head, neck, and shoulders lifted. Clasping your hands gently on your shin, alternating left and right. Last 5, 3, 2, relax your head, neck, and shoulders. Take any pulses, any stretches, anything that you need here. Next up, we have an outside ankle reach, reaching for your ankles, your hips. Tuck your chin to your chest. Here we go. Option 1, feet on the floor, knees to the sky. Keeping your feet hip width apart and parallel. Stay here if this is comfortable as you press your lower back into the floor, teetering from left to right, right to left. You can also draw your knees over your hips, bringing your shins parallel, still reaching on either side of your hip, imagining that ankle is there. Side to side, crunching those obliques. By keeping your head, neck, and shoulders lifted, you're allowing that twist a little bit deeper. 5 more seconds. That's 2. Last one, release down. Catch your breath. We've got a double leg extend and bend, so we're all going to start back at that reverse tabletop. If you had placed your feet down, draw your knees over your hips, chin parallel. Here we go, extend for 2 and bend for 2. Elbows are wide. We're firing up the lower abs. To add some upper core engagement, tuck your chin to your chest, shoulders lifted. To release your head, neck, and shoulders, you can fire up just the lower abs. Same options here for the lower ab work. You can place your hands under your hips, palms facing down for support. Behind your head for more of a challenge. Double leg extend for 2 and bend for 2. Slow and steady, that's 3, 2. All right, reach your legs out long, relax them down. Catch a little breather. We've got our flutter kicks next. We're going in 7. Hands under your hips, elbows wide, arms by your side. Your choice, chin tucked or laying flat. Here we go, little flutter kicks. Can be on the floor. You can bring them up to a diagonal, up towards the sky. Maybe lifting and lowering slowly with those flutter kicks. Remember, next we're going to do the lift and lower with our legs zipped together and not kicking. 20 more seconds. Stay with it. Lots of lower abs today. Dabbling a little bit with the upper abs and of course with the obliques. 7 more seconds. Last 3, 2. Lower your legs down. Catch your breath. Grab water at any time. We're going to slow it down. We're going to lift those legs for 2. Lower them back down to a hover for 2. Here we go. Lift it up for 2. Lower down for 2. If your lowering and lifting is actually taking longer than 2 counts, that's even better. Think slower, more controlled. 2 is just the baseline. You don't want to go any faster than a slow 2 count as you lift and lower the legs. Keep it going. 10 more seconds here. Lift and lower. Relax your shoulders away from your ears. Last one. Hold the legs to the sky. Release your hands under your hips if they were there. We're going to reach for those toes and we're going to pulse it. Get ready. In 5. That's 3. Chin to chest. Reach your hands to your toes. Little pulses. Reaching up. Legs straight. Toes to the sky. Knees bent. Shins parallel. Knees bent. Feet on the floor. Any of those options, you're still reaching your hands to the sky. Keep it going. 20 seconds down, you know what that means. Finishing up round 2, so strong. Tiny pulses, lift and lift. Reach for your toes. Reach for your ankles, your shins, your knees. Reach for whatever you can. Last 7. That's 2. Last 1. All right, catch your breath. We're coming back to the top. We've got one more round. I know our abs are sore. Give it your all. Make it your best round yet, starting with those 100s in 2. Here we go. Soft bend the knees, arms by your sides, shoulders away from your ears. Keep your palms facing down, thumbs in, pinkies out. Little pulses like you're trying to tread water. You're just pressing down that water just next to your shins. You can lower your feet at any time or keep them elevated for more of a challenge. You're just gently resting on your sit bones, We're gonna roll back in 15, keep it going. Little pulses with the arms, deep inhale, deep exhale. Make sure you're breathing. Last 5, 3, 2, last 1. All right, roll it on back. Single leg pulses, last time here. Let's start with that left knee in as we extend our right leg long. Driving that left knee in and right leg extends for 2 pulses and then switch. Here we go. And switch. Double pulse. And switch. Keep it going. Drawing that knee up and away from your rib cage. Try to bring it toward your shoulder, not just straight up. That opposite leg is out long, strong. Point through both of your toes the whole time. Single leg stretch, pulse, pulse, and then switch. Lower back is pressed into the floor. You've got 7 more seconds here. Obliques are next. You've got 2. Last 1. Finish up that leg you're on. Come on back. Knees to the sky, feet on the floor, or knees over your hips, shins parallel. Tuck your chin to your chest, reach your hands by your side. Pinkies down, thumbs up. Here we go, side to side. Does not matter which side you start on. Try to end on the opposite side. Crunching that oblique, think about drawing your rib cage towards the same hip. Coming back through center. And then you're switching sides as you draw that other side, rib cage towards the hip. Think about stretching that side you just crunch. So it's a crunch and an active stretch. 10 more seconds. Last 5, 3, 2, last 1. Finish up, lower on down. We're gonna all come and meet that reverse tabletop if your feet were lowered. Knees over your hips, shins parallel to the floor. Zip your legs together. Elbows wide, here we go. Double leg extends for 2 and bend for 2. Just like those leg lifts and lowers. If you're actually going slower than a 2 count, that's even better. Think of 2 counts as your baseline. Now as you bend back into your knees, avoid drawing your knees into your chest. That makes it too easy. You want to stop right at your hip flexors and then extend out. Notice the deep core engagement as you stop midway and then extend. Last 5, 2, and 1. When you get there, extend your legs out long. We've got flutter kicks, low, medium, high, maybe lowering and lifting. Option to place your hands under your lower back for support. Here we go. Little flutter kicks. Last time here. Try to make it your best. Point through your toes. Remember, lower towards the floor is more challenging, of course, without touching the floor. To relieve some of those hip flexors, add a soft bend in your knees. To relieve some tension in your lower back, place your hands under your hips, palms facing down. Or you can lift your legs to the sky. Still gentle flutter kicks. Almost there. 10 more seconds. Yes, you can. Breather coming up next. Last 3, 2, and 1. Release your legs down long. So if you were lifting and lowering previously, you're going to do the same thing, probably a little bit slower, and your legs aren't going to be kicking. They're going to be staying still. Imagine your ankles are glued together. Deep inhale and lift for 2. Lower down for 2. Just using that 2 count as a guide. Maybe going slower. Try not to go faster than a 2 count. Everything for abs and with your core You want to make it controlled, intentional movements. Last 10. Last 5, 3, 2. All right, when you get there, bring your legs back to the sky. Rest your head, neck, and shoulders. They were lowered. All right, they're lifted. Reach your hands to the sky. Last 45 seconds of work. Tuck your chin to your chest. Reach for your toes. Here we go. Tiny pulses. Reaching for your toes, your ankles, your shins, your knees, your thighs. Reach for whatever you can. Whether your toes are lifted, your knees are bent, shins parallel, or with your feet on the floor. We're just pulsing. Getting the upper ab work here. Keep it going. 20 more seconds. Little pulses. Reach and reach. Keep it going. 10 more seconds. This is it. Final move. Last 5. You've got 3, 2, and 1. Tuck your knees into your chest. Reach your arms and legs long, full body stretch. Create a tiny arch in your lower back. Tuck your knees back into your chest once more. Rock and roll yourself as many times as you need before coming on up to a standing position, and give yourself a nice big round of applause.